there as well, so commendations to
he rips heels,
artist. Yeah,
he rips Mike Johnson, and then he goes 125 feet to throw one punch.
Hey man, some guys want to get there. That man there, Leon Draisaitl. We're waiting to hear from him and more when we return.
Well, Leon, I guess just some quick thoughts on the game tonight. It seemed a little bit sloppy, and then when you wanted to get some momentum, one team or another took a penalty in this one.
Yeah, I think you said it right. There wasn't much momentum on either side, I think, and I think both teams couldn't really get that much going. I think obviously our power play didn't give us the momentum we wanted, so. Obviously, it's nice to get the point, but we would have way rather get the 2 points.
On a positive side of things, take us through what this dressing room thinks of Matt Hendricks.
Yeah, he's our wagon. He's a leader. He leads every single night. He scores a beautiful tying goal, and that's just the type of guy he is. He's huge for our younger guys, and he helps us out a lot.
Well, we'll switch gears on you here a little bit and talk a little bit more personal and take you back to your draft year when you got an opportunity to meet Mark Messier. And he knew exactly who you were before you got drafted, and he also knew who your father, Peter, was. So take us through that experience.
Yeah, it was a great experience. I guess every time you meet superstars or heroes like that, it's very exciting. And there was a little bit of a relationship with my dad, and I think they met a couple times before. I think my dad played with his brother, so it was very fun to meet him.
There was a great story by Boston Bruins defenseman Dennis Seidenberg, who of course is a fellow German like yourself, and he said that in North America, maybe the most famous German athlete is Dirk Nowitzki. I mean, MVP of the NBA, and of course he won a championship there as well. But he said, because of your offensive capability, that potentially you might be able to have that same popularity here over in North America as a German athlete. How much pressure do you put on yourself to kind of be like that and be an ambassador for your country?
Yeah, I guess you always have a little bit of pressure if you have that offensive potential. Myself personally, I don't want to put too much pressure on myself, but like I said, there's always pressure there, and I think you said it right. I want to be an ambassador for younger kids. Get more kids to play hockey back home, and hopefully I can do that at some point.
I want to ask you about your teammate, and I guess former roommate from the AHL, Darnell Nurse, and you guys have kind of gone through everything together, and I know not roommates here in Edmonton, but you do live in the same building. He says that you've never beat him yet at NHL 16.
Wait, I never beat him?
Yes, that's what he said.
That is an absolute joke, because I don't think he's ever beat me.
But take us through your relationship, because obviously very close, going through the same things. Yeah,
exactly. I think we've both been through the same stuff, and we spend a lot of time together. He's one of my best friends on and off the ice, and he's just a great guy, very fun to be around, always positive, and I usually teach him a lesson in NHL, but he'll get there eventually.
Going back to your dad, we talked about him a little bit. Your dad, Peter, of course, played 18 seasons of professional hockey over in Europe, and he also went to 3 Olympics. And I have to say, I guess I'm telling my age, because his last Olympics was actually my first Olympics, but just the influence of your dad and how he helped you grow up and become the player that you are.
Yeah, I mean, he's the reason why I'm playing hockey, and he's been my biggest supporter, my biggest influence since the first day I stepped on the ice, and I'm very thankful for that, to have a dad that knows about the game. He understands the game, and whenever I need something, he's there for me, and I really appreciate that.
How much did he help you at the Men's Worlds in 2014? Because that was really the first time you played with men as an 18-year-old.
Yeah, he definitely gave me a lot of tips there too. Like you said, it was the first time playing against men, and it was a little different, and it took me a little while to get used to everything, and but again, he was there for me, and he gave me very important tips, and made the transition much easier for myself.
We got a little timeline here of your career. So when you see a picture, just kind of take us through a thought or a memory.
God, I do not remember this, to be honest, but you know, obviously it's been hockey since day one. This is my hometown team where I played, and I guess that was a tournament we always used to play 4-on-4. That must be around the same age. This was actually in this building last year, no, 2 years ago, playoffs against the Oil Kings. Same year. You know, obviously I had a lot of fun in Prince Albert and in my junior career, so it's been great.
A little time with Jordan, of course, the draft, as we talked about off the top, and you know, just an amazing career, Leon. And I know when you got sent down to Kelowna last year, that's a huge motivational factor for you. You got a new trainer in the summer, and we can see it in your game this year.
Yeah, he's been amazing. Like I said, I've worked with him all summer, and you know, I really improved on my weaknesses, I think, and you know, I still have a lot of room to grow, and I know that. So I'm excited for the next couple of summers.
All right, Leon, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Leon Draisaitl, Cassie Campbell, Pascal, thank you very much.